Welcome friends to another r/I don't work here lady video. Excuse me, do you work here? Could you help me hit the like and subscribe button down below? I'd really appreciate it. Our first story of the day is by Canned Champagne. Ma'am, this isn't a doctor's office. So I work as an administrative assistant at a small architecture firm. I get a phone call and answer with my standard greeting. Good morning, small architect firm. This is Canned Champagne. Can I help you? I'm greeted with that old lady shriek, you know, the one where they swear to God the telephones are still transceivers from 1940. Hi, this is client of ours. I have an appointment there at 9:15 tomorrow. I say, I'm sorry, ma'am. I don't have you scheduled with the architect. Did you speak to him to make the appointment? What are you talking about? Of course I have an appointment. I need a CT scan done and you scheduled me and I need it done. I say, ma'am, this is architecture firm. I believe you may have called the wrong number. Well, transfer me to radiology then. I say, ma'am, I'm sorry. Again, this is architecture firm, not your doctor's office. You're going to have to call them. I can't transfer you to anyone. I don't understand why you won't transfer me. It's a simple button. Well, give me the number then. If you won't do your job, I'll call myself. I say, ma'am, I don't know the number or even what office you're talking about. I don't understand why you people can't just do your jobs. And she hung up on me. This is one of our clients and she's generally a sweet lady. I wonder if I should warn the architect of how she behaves when she doesn't get her way. Anyway, I know it was a small, simple one, but it was a strange one to have happen to me in my own office. 2 out of 10 would not do it again. If you're working somewhere and somebody calls you thinking that you're a different location and then just keeps going on and on and on with it, do you think you should have the right to just kind of hang up on them? Let me know in the comments down below. Our next story is by Lux Valentino. Wrong number, lady. I work at a hospital lab and my phone number is 1 digit off from the number of an unrelated clinic. I have the clinic's real phone number and give it to people when they call me, usually with absolutely no problem and even sometimes jokes. You should invoice them. Occasionally I get people who argue. Phone rings. I say, hospital lab, this is me. How may I help you? The lady says, do you take walk-ins? I say, sorry, you've called hospital, but it's 1 digit off clinic. Let me give you their number. The lady says, okay, but do you take walk-ins? I say, hospital has an emergency department, I guess, but I think you're trying to reach clinic. She says, I'm coming now. Your address is clinic's address. I say, ma'am, you're talking to the wrong place. Let me give you the She says, you said you take walk-ins, so I'm coming. Give me the address. I begrudgingly give the address to hospital campus. It's like 11 buildings. The lady hangs up. I tried so hard, but I can't help but laugh. Sometimes they're just so thick you just can't cut through. Even with something so obviously blatant like a hospital. I mean, we have an ER, I guess, but okay, that's all I needed to know. I'm coming right on over. It's like, ma'am, please wait, no, stop. Too late. Our next story is by Othaniel, A Trip to IKEA. A little bit of backstory first. I'm a 31-year-old male French guy, and I came out about a year ago. It's going to be a long one, so keep your hands and arms inside the wagon, fasten your seatbelts, and enjoy the ride. I recently got a new job that includes photography to my new job, so with my best friend, 32-year-old female, we went to IKEA to spend some time together, so I can look into props for me to do my job as best as I can. And I had a yellow t-shirt with a huge logo of a French web series. So my friend and I were in the section for the plates in IKEA, and we're talking about boys and having a good time, catching up since we weren't able to see each other last year. At some point, someone cleared her throat behind us, and I was like, oh, sorry, and moved out of the way thinking that she wanted something I was looking at. Behind me was standing a woman with sunglasses that were covering everything on her face that wasn't covered by her mask. I'll call her entitled customer. I should have seen this coming. I missed the sign, but to be honest, in France, we don't have a lot of Karens or entitled people, or it's how I feel like. The entitled customer says, finally, are you done? I want XYZ. Here's my card, carry it for me. I'll follow you. Me and my friend are looking at each other like, what the freak? And I replied, hi, I'm sorry, ma'am, I don't work here, but if you want, I can show you where the desk with the employee is so they can help you. She says, do your darn job. I saw you putting stuff back on the shelf, so stop lying to me, I hate that. I say, I assure you, ma'am, I don't work here, I'm just a customer, I'm here with my friend. but come with me, I'm gonna show you where the store employees are and I'm sure they'll help. She says, I told you I don't like liars. So if you bring me to the desk, I'll tell your manager about your attitude towards paying customers and I'll get you fired. I rolled my eyes and looked at my friend who was frozen and was looking at this happening in front of her without being able to wrap her brain about the fact that, yes, this is happening. And yes, it's real life. But we start walking towards the desk. Fortunately, as we walk, we can see that someone's standing there. I look at my friend and I know that she's thinking the same as me. Thank God there's someone here and they'll handle it and we'll be able to just continue our shopping peacefully. But girl, we were so wrong. Entitled customer just finally saw the desk and runs to the poor employee. Says, are you the manager? I need you to fire this guy right now. He refused to help me. I've never been so ashamed and so badly treated in my life. The IKEA employee says, hello ma'am, I'm sorry but he isn't one of our employees. As you see, he doesn't have a badge or the uniform. She says, don't give me that crap. I hate liars. He's wearing yellow so he has to work here. The employee says, I assure you he doesn't. I've never seen him before, but I'll be happy to help you. The lady then looked at him from shoe to head and went, are you gay? I don't know how to describe it, but when saying that, she had like a bit of disgust, a bit of questioning, and a lot of entitlement. The employee, surprised by the question, says, no. The lady says, then I don't want you, I want him, pointing at me. I heard him and that girl talking about men, and I want to buy decorations for my home, and it's common knowledge that gays are better at this stuff. Make him help me. At this point, my friend started laughing and says, him? Good at home decoration? Lady, you never saw his place, trust me. My jaw dropped and I was like, which that was a read. The shade is real, but I laugh too because it's true. I'm going to cut it short now, but the conversation continued for a few minutes and then the entitled customer started to throw a tantrum and things at the employee. I at some point put my friend behind me so she doesn't get hurt, and I'm glad I did because a few seconds later, I was hit in the head and started to bleed. At this point, security arrived and stopped the entitled customer while she was screaming, get your hand off me, you can't kick me out, I'm too special to be kicked out. And as it happens, someone that must be higher in the hierarchy of the store, he's wearing a white shirt and tie, comes to the desk. As I turn towards him, he stops and looks me with his eyes wide open. My head's starting to be covered with blood. He starts to panic, wanting to call the paramedics. I stop it because it's just a small cut and ask for an antiseptic, something to clean my face, and a new mask since mine's now half wet with blood. In the end, I get all of that, and as we talk with the man wearing the white shirt, who keeps apologizing, I tell him that it's not his fault, nor the employee, nor the store, and that I have better things to do with my life and my time so I won't be suing the store. He still gave me his card in case I have a medical bill and want to place charges against entitled customer, so she pays for it and will provide me with the security footage. He also writes my friend and I a note to a free lunch at the cafeteria. So the day goes by and we eat way too much before going back to the store. And for the whole afternoon, my friend, every few minutes, even in the middle of us talking, was saying, are you gay? Impersonating entitled customer and laughing a lot. Honestly, when the entitled customer said, are you gay? I was expecting like a judgmental thing. I wasn't expecting it to weirdly turn into like a good stereotype thing. There seemed like a moment there where like, maybe things could have worked out, and then the fast forward button was hit and she just turned into a banshee throwing stuff at people. I think we missed out on the best part here between what happened with that light moment where there was a little bit of laughter, and then the next moment where this lady's just chucking stuff at OP's head. Our next story is by the Shafi. The website isn't wrong, this just isn't your gas company. I work for a rather large, rather old charity in the UK. One of my duties is to occasionally operate the live chat on our website. By the way, we can see what you're typing as you're typing to answer queries about various health issues, equipment, benefits, etc. When a chat finishes, the visitor has the option to give a thumbs up or down, a star rating, and leave any comments. Some people do, some don't. It doesn't affect anything, but we can use it to see if there's any common issues. And the agent can see the rating and comments. So a chat starts the other day. Hi, I'm OP at Charity. How can I help you? They say, hello, my tenants have just moved out and I want to sell my house. I say, unfortunately, I think you've come to the wrong website. We are a charity for the deaf. We aren't an estate agent. They say, I understand that. I never asked you to sell my house. I want you to cancel the gas and electricity you provide. I say, okay, so again, we're a charity for people with hearing loss. We don't supply utilities. Which company is it that you're looking for? I figured I could get them to the right site. They say, whatever. User comments, your website is confusing. Please rate the advice or information you received 1 out of 10. Would you use our live chat again? No, with 4 exclamation marks. There is literally no mention of gas or electricity anywhere on the site. The name and the logos plastered everywhere, and the front page headlines are all about our campaigns and the support we provide. I honestly don't know how some people function. I'm gonna go ahead and just take a stab that this person isn't the most technologically savvy. Maybe the gas or power company has a very similar name, or maybe the address is even so similar where it's like a .org versus .com or .net type thing. All it takes is one letter accidentally typoed, and you're at a completely different site. This next story is by Louis Ove. Crazy lady calls me instead of the police. This happened 2 years ago. My parents told me that most of these were people that tried calling the police. My parents would tell them, sorry, wrong number, here's the actual number. I didn't take those calls most of the time, but I did have the bad luck of taking this one. It was a lady, she sounded mid-40s and she was angry as freak. She called the police just to report some sex workers. It went something like this. Hello, I live at so-and-so street at so-and-so building. There's some sex workers in the... I say, lady, She says, listen to me first. They're too noisy and they'll traumatize my child. I say, lady, please. She says, no, I'm not finished yet. Think about my child. He's only 12. I really don't think he was that age. I don't want to see those sleuths here in my building. I'm tired and my child is too. I want them gone by now. I say, can I talk now? She says, yes, what's the problem? Aren't you supposed to be sending someone to take those sleuths out by now? Why aren't you getting your job done? I say, I'm 15, lady. You called a house phone number, not the police. She says, then why didn't you tell me? I say, you didn't even let me talk. And she cuts the call. She called again, but my mom answered and told her the number. I asked my mom if it was a lady that sounded mid-40s. She said yes, and I told her the story. We had a good laugh. And that's why if you call the police, you might want to hear what the other person has to say. Otherwise, you end up looking like an absolute idiot like this person deserves to feel like. And our final story of the day is by Robinson 2001. I don't work here, lady, but I'll give it a shot. From 2000 to 2002, I worked at a small town grocery store. There were maybe 10 of us on the clock at one time, 11 if it was a Saturday night with an extra person in the deli department. Being a small town, everyone knew everyone, and we had a feisty, independent, 90-something-old bird who, while blind, still was as flirty as she was at 18. One of us would always break away and help her shop. She used a cutout card to write her grocery list out by writing inside the cutout, and used it to write out the amount and sign her checks exactly on the line. In, I want to say the week before Christmas 2001, we were closed the one non-holiday day of the year for store-wide inventory, which was handled by an outside inventory company. It was an oddball for back then 60 degrees Fahrenheit, so I wanted to grill and had to head to the Mart of Walls to grab a steak, tater, and corn in the town 15 miles away. I roll up, go inside, and Mrs. Anna Mary is standing in the cart foyer with an older lady who looks very miffed. My store manager was always about customer service, so I introduced myself to Anna Marie and apologized about the store being closed that day. The older lady goes, so you know her? Good, her guide isn't here. I'll be back in 30 minutes, I have other people to drop off. Turns out the grumpy witch was her transport driver. I got but, and she was gone because I was in absolute shock. And then very pissed. So I had to help Mrs. Anna Marie zoom through the Mall of Walls, then help her check out. Thank God that store still took checks, and load her back up into the transport van. Flaming Witch didn't lift a finger to help load the groceries. I really should have just said screw it and driven her back to assisted living apartments myself, but hindsight is 20/20. The steak, taters, and corn weren't really all that great, having been cooked with anger, but they were eaten with anger too, so it balanced out. A week or so later, my store manager, a no-nonsense jackbutt that taught me a lot about when to kiss butt and when to kick butt, came up to me and grabbed my arm and goes, Robinson. A customer said you helped her at another store. I'm pretty sure I was gonna get a butt chewing for it. Helping a customer in our store's one thing, but better for business if they floundered at another store. God darn good work. She told me you helped her. She knew you from here. She'll come back here over them. That's darn good customer service, kid, and walked away. See? It pays to be the nice guy sometimes. But with that being said, that's all the time we have for today. So of all these stories I've read today, which is your favorite and why? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you haven't yet, if you could like and subscribe, that would mean a lot to me. Whatever you do, whether it's liking, subscribing, turning notifications on, all of it helps grow this channel, and I appreciate the heck out of it. So until next time, I'll see you all tomorrow with some more stories.